Jordan had to tell us something. She is responding to a comment that says, "Your body will shut down in the next 3 years if you don't wake up." This is a video from March that I've somehow missed. Let's try to understand her contradictions.
Comments like this really take me out for a whole host of reasons. First and foremost, you don't know me. Assuming that that was the first piece of my content that you've seen one video of me dancing, which table that, we'll get back to that. You've seen one video of me dancing and you've filled in a lifetime of blanks with a fan theory that you have about my life and what my life looks like and has looked like to get me to this point today.
Well, of course, we can get most assumptions right. Getting to your weight, it takes a lot of calories a day, extreme amounts of foods consumed. This is not even assumption, but a fact. So, as the commenter says, if you continue this path, your body will fail, which is also a highly accurate assumption based on science. And this cuts both ways, because you also don't know the commenter, yet you assign them an entire belief system. So you're condemning assumptions by making bigger assumptions.
Today, getting back to the dance piece, if you don't wake up, by wake up, you mean be thin. Okay, so I'm gonna channel your mind. I'm fat phobic. Okay. I want this person to be thin. How do you become thin? You can get surgery. Okay, sure. You can take Ozempic. Okay, sure. Or you can diet and exercise, which typically people like you, that's the thing that you want fat people to do, right? Is diet and exercise. Okay, so you commented this on a video of me dancing. What is dance? Exercise.
Why group them together? Diet and exercise. As you can't lose weight solely by better eating choices. Because you want to ignore the diet part. That part is the obvious one. That is what the commenter actually says. And how can you say we don't know anything just by observation? Is this logic also true for everything else? Is observation invalid everywhere?
90% of my content at this point is just videos from me taking dance classes. So, and with that, I circle back to point one, which is that you don't know me. All you know is what I choose to post, right? So sure, that could mean that I live like a deeply unhealthy, whatever the fuck that means to you, lifestyle outside of what I'm posting, right? But actually you don't know that to be true because you don't know anything. You only know what I post. And so if you had any sort of discernment, any sort of critical thinking skills, right? You see a fat person in a dance class. If I held your belief system, I would be like, slay, this person is doing what I want them to do. This fat person is exercising and that's what I want fat people to do so they don't become fat anymore. So that's good. But because you don't actually even subscribe to your own belief system, you just want to be able to shit on somebody.
Aren't you doing the same here? You are assuming their belief system. You assume what they believe based on one sentence they wrote. You're inventing an opponent who only exists in your head. Also, you're conflating criticism of your outcome with criticism of your actions. Health versus healthy actions.
And that group of people that you've decided to shit on is fat people because it makes you feel better about your sad, fucking, pathetic ass life. You are so triggered at the idea of a fat person, I don't know, existing, even doing the thing that you want them to do. You're so triggered by that, you can't even take 2 seconds to scroll through my page that will tell you that I'll say it. Because why not? Let's be honest. I've lost 200 pounds in the last 2 years.
You were scared to admit that you lost weight because of what your community will think. So, okay, now you are fat phobic. Losing weight is fat phobic. And you're defending an ideology that claims weight loss doesn't matter while citing weight loss as proof. Or in fact, if weight loss isn't relevant, why bring it up?
Be honest, I've lost 200 pounds in the last 2 years. So what does wake up look like to you? And why the fuck do you think that it's any of your goddamn fucking business what the fuck I do?
Sorry, that got a little heated. I feel very strongly about this subject because
The sentiment that this commenter holds and is spreading via hate comments on mine, and I can only assume other fat people's posts, it kills people. Anti-fatness kills people. Weight bias in medicine kills people of all sizes. Minority stress kills people. And fat-phobic people walk around all day telling fat people that we're gonna die because of our size. And they never address any of those other things. They harass fat people for exercising. They harass us for not exercising. They harass us for eating a salad. They harass us for eating a burger. It doesn't fucking matter to these people, because at the end of the day, they are hypocrites. They don't care about our life. They don't care about our health. They care about having someone to punch down on. And they pick us because they know that culturally right now, they will have to face no repercussions and no accountability for their violent, bigoted language. Telling someone that you don't know, that you know nothing about, that they're gonna die in 3 years is violent. Since I was 12 years old, people have been telling me that I was gonna die in 3 years. I'm 28. So,
This is not a flex. It's tragic that you think you've beaten the odds.
in 3 years, I'm 28. So, I'm so sorry, but it's not happening. And if I did die right now, if I had a heart attack right now, like y'all think is gonna happen, you wouldn't know. Actually, you wouldn't know. And it wouldn't matter to you, right? Because at the end of the day, you want that. You want that to happen. You want to feel like your body is superior as someone who holds anti-fat beliefs. You like that you get to live in the superior body. So, okay, congratulations. I don't know. You want a medal? You want a cookie? Oh, you can't have a cookie. That'll make you fat. Oh, no. Like, give it up. If you're fat and you've made it through this long ass video, I want you to know that I love you and that you just don't listen to these people because they're full of shit. They've always been full of shit. They will always be full of shit. Fat people have always existed. And regardless of whether you are disabled or able-bodied, if you are healthy or unhealthy, you deserve care and compassion and access to care and safety. And that's it. There's nothing else to say. Like, that is true. So, I love you. Bye.
Nothing here makes sense. Saying the commenter is obsessed and triggered while making 6-minute angry rant is wild. Also, what doesn't make sense is that you don't want this person to be obsessed and watch your video, yet you have a public TikTok account. Clearly you want attention and want to grow your business, otherwise this will be a private account. Let's see a discussion she had in the comments section.
Also, wake up, as if you can just choose to not be fat in the morning? Do they think one day you'll wake up and just be skinny? BRB, just gonna shed 100 pounds in my sleep.
Yeah, so that is literally how it works. You wake up one day and decide to start making a change. And why is the assumption made that I don't care for my health? Because you allowed yourself to fall into unhealthy habits which you now have to work to reverse in order to maintain a quality of life? Healthy people don't need to make vids on social media crying about how they should be allowed to use a wheelchair. You're right, disabled people do, like myself. My connective tissue disorders that were ignored for years by doctors due to their anti-fat bias put me in a wheelchair. Please explain how having connective tissue diseases impacts your ability to not consume excessive calories and in turn put on excessive weight. It's a simple in versus out equation. The disorders allowed over 100 pounds of fluid to accumulate in my legs, alongside large amounts of scar tissue. Those things impeded my mobility. You are making assumptions about my caloric intake, movement practice that are not based in any truth. You can and will believe what you believe, but you do not know me or anything ab my intake. Instead of worrying so much ab my health, it might be time to look inward. BC healthy people don't obsess this much about strangers on the internet. Your thought process is so all over the place.
You ate and I've scrolled pretty far down and I can definitely see results. You go girl.
Thank you, though it's not results, it's just my body changing as my life changes. I loved my body before and I working on loving it now as well. Appreciate you.
The only thing I know is that video you say with your friend losing weight is not body positive. Happy this movement is not a trend anymore because my god,